Hey y'all, I know it's been a while since I did a video, and I apologize. I've been through a lot in the last month. Actually spent a week in the hospital. I went through a really bad pain cycle where I couldn't seem to break it, and I ended up in the ER with an IV drip, pain meds to break it, and then I'm on a pretty strict regimen diet of vitamins and anti-seizure medication, and I'm doing a lot better. And I appreciate all the prayers and well wishes of everybody. Uh, I'm feeling a lot better. I still have my moments, still have times where I'm still feel out of sorts, but it's not as bad as it was. I actually have what is known as neuropathy, uh, not stage 3 Parkinson's so much as, I failed half the test for stage 3 Parkinson's, but I was woefully deficient in B12 and vitamin D. So those are two of the vitamins that I'm on with shots, and I'm just doing a lot better. So as I comment about what's going on, I shake my head in amazement. I still can't believe that the 25th Amendment hasn't been used against Biden, because this guy is not hitting on all cylinders. The guy's probably got a couple of marbles rolling around in his head. The guy's a human gaff machine. And nobody calls him on it. The media doesn't say diddly squat. When Trump was president, 90% of everything that was written about Trump or said about Trump in the mainstream media was negative. Not a single negative thing about Biden, and the guy has left plenty of room for criticism. Believe me, but where's our mainstream media? They're bought and paid for by the robber barons, the banking oligarchs, the one that actually control the financial system in this country. The reason why Trump was such a threat was because he put our country first, or at least tried to. And anybody that believes that Joe Biden got 81 million people to vote for him, and Trump lost, even though he had 11 million more people that voted for him than the first time. Man, you guys you're not all there. But be that as it may, we live in a banana republic. I've been saying that for a long time. And the fact that Trump was able to win the first time is still astounding to me, given the deep state and the shadow government that has this web that just spreads out all over the world. It is what it is. Uh, what I wanted to talk to you guys tonight was about the debt slavery system that we're currently under. A lot of people don't understand that Federal Reserve notes are not dollars. Okay, dollars is a unit of measurement. So many grains of gold, so many grains of silver equals a dollar. Back before 1933, you could actually take a dollar bill into a bank, or a $5 bill, or a $10 bill, or a $20 bill, a $100 bill, and get so many grains of gold, so many grains of silver to equal your paper note. Right now, our monetary system is a fiat system. Uh, every Federal Reserve note is borrowed into existence and has interest attached to it. So there is no way to ever pay off the interest. If every single Federal Reserve note in existence was pulled in and given to the central bankers, there would still be $30 trillion in interest to pay. Well, you can't. If the money was borrowed into creation with interest attached, where does the money come from to ever pay off the interest? Uh, Thing is, it don't exist. You can't pull, as I've said this before, you cannot pull 11 marbles out of a bag that only has 10. So the Federal Reserve System is a perpetual debt machine. Bottom line. I've had over 2,500 posts deleted off of social media where I expose the criminality of the Federal Reserve. I've written very lengthy dissertations about the criminality of the Federal Reserve and how it's totally against the U.S. Constitution. But we're not under the Constitution anymore. We are under what is known as statutory law. or better known as the Uniform Commercial Code. And in 1933, we were pledged as surety against the debt. Our labor was pledged as surety against the debt. Birth certificate was printed on bond paper because under the Uniform Commercial Code, anything can be used as a monetary instrument and can be monetized. So our birth certificates are printed on bond paper, and they're given a monetary value based on actuary tables, based on what they think will be the amount of commerce that we produce and the taxes and fees that we'll pay over our lifetime. And there's that benchmark is set there. It can raise, it can lower. It just depends on your Social Security number that they can track of how much money you actually pay into the system, how much money you take out of the system. But that is, they borrow against it. They borrow against our birth certificate based on our labor. And that's how we became financial debt slaves. I got something I want to read you guys from Colonel Edward Mendelhouse, who was the handler for Woodrow Wilson, who agreed in 1912 when he accepted the nomination that if he became president, he would sign off on the Federal Reserve Act. And in order to guarantee that Woodrow Wilson would win, they put in a third-party candidate known as Theodore Roosevelt, who ran under what was known as the Bull Moose Party. Well, the Bull Moose Party pulled votes away from the Republican, which was William Taft. And so, by doing so, they guaranteed that Woodrow Wilson would win the election. And he signed off on the Federal Reserve Act. He also signed off on the 16th Amendment that was never ratified by enough states, which guaranteed that we could be taxed on by bartering our labor, that we could be taxed on that. And not enough states signed off on it, but yet we're told that it was. So Colonel Edward Mendelhouse was part of the Illuminati. He was instrumental in getting the Council on Foreign Relations started. And he wrote a book called Philip Drew Administrator, where he basically talks about what it is that's been done to us. But here is a quote from him to Woodrow Wilson. Soon every American will be required to register their biological property into a national system designed to keep track of the people that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our paper fiat currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer not being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel. We will hold the security interest over them forever by operation of the law merchant, which is statutory law. Americans, by unknowingly or unwittingly, will deliver their bills of lading to us, and will be rendered bankrupt, insolvent, forever to remain economic slaves through taxation secured by their pledges. They will be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit. And they will be none the wiser, for not one man in a million could ever figure out our plans, and if by accident one or two could figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. After all, this is the only logical way to fund government, by floating liens and debt to the registrants in the form of benefits and privileges. They will inevitably reap to us huge profits beyond our wildest expectations, and leave every American a contributor to this fraud, which we will call social insurance. So, I mean, what more do you need to know? I mean, I think it's pretty. It's there in black and white. You can find this quote on the internet. So, as I said, things are not what we've been led to believe. I've been doing this for over 10 years, 10 to 11, 12 hours a day. I hold in my hand right here this flash drive of over 70,000 hours worth of documentaries and lectures that you can't even find on YouTube anymore. I had an old computer that crashed in 2017 where I had downloaded all of these documentaries and lectures, for future reference, and you can't find them on YouTube anymore. That's just how bad the censoring has gotten. If anybody wants a copy of these, I'm going to figure out a way to download these to other flash drives, and I'll send them to you. You just got to let me know. But some of the information on this thing, you're not going to find anywhere else because they've been censoring. They deleted all of this information. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll try not to be so long in between the next ones.